Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Terry's Flooring Sam Broyles Show, where we cover everything on the hardwood with the Chuckey-Doak Black Knights basketball team. As always, I'm joined here with head coach Sam Broyles. Coach, how are we doing this morning?
Doing good.
First time we've done it during the school day.
That's true. And first time, early like this. Usually we're wore out after practice or after a long school day, so it's definitely different.
It's good to see you during the school day. Kind of get a little bit of break during the days of your planning period.
Yes, yeah.
So you get kind of an early planning period right after first. You might have more energy than me today. I'm a little tired. You might be a little more woken up than I am. But the good thing is I just get to ask the questions and you answer the questions. So we'll jump right into it. In terms of basketball, the last two games that we've had were West Green and South Green. We had a pair of county games. Unfortunately, neither went your way. The South Green game got out of hand early. The West Green game, a very competitive game. They went all the way down to the wire, and we kind of spoke off camera that you could argue that that was your game to lose in the situation because you had chances to win or tie in the end, just couldn't get the shots to fall, and you could have the argument that you may have outplayed West Green too. So what was the preparation that went into that game, and how did you kind of scheme them up well enough to hold them to only 41 at home?
Well, defensively, we really worked hard on stopping Layman's because, watching some of the games before, especially where they had played North Green, and they really concentrate, going into Layman. So we worked really hard that week on preparing to stop him and, any inside threat that they had. And I thought our guys did a great job, and they did as in the score. And, you're right, we did outplay them. We didn't end up with the final results, but do you know how much experience those guys come away with, like taking those shots to win a game or tie a game? I mean, you want them taking those shots. They weren't afraid to take them, and I like that because they'll see that situation again, and maybe next time it'll go in.
Get a little bit more confidence in them.
Yeah, and I saw too a dejected bunch, and I got to stay positive with these boys, and after that game they were really down, and I think it carried over a little bit into South Green. Of course, Jace Broderick came back, and we'll get into that here in a minute, but staying positive. These boys, I know it's been a down year for us, but we're getting ready to start our conference play again, and it's important that I see and I keep their minds that let's see if we can improve against Hampton. I'm looking for improvement to where we're better by the tournament, because we're seeing a lot of history this year. Schools that hadn't beat teams in 14 years, and another one in 20 hadn't been beat since 2012. So we've been on the other side of that, and now we're experiencing starting over again. And I think these boys are handling it well. I had to stay positive for them, keeping them up, because social media at times can be negative. They can be positive too, as we see, but
tend to see a lot more negativity sometimes.
Yeah, especially with teenagers. And they can get down easy. So let's see. Hampton handled us pretty good at Hampton. Let's see if we've improved. We get them here tonight. We're going to have to be able to handle their pressure, everything. But coming away from that West Green, I told them I was proud of them. West Green's they had experience over us. They had size over us.
The home court
even
advantage.
Athleticism with Layman's. I mean, he's a beast. Let's just say it like it is. He's huge. He's hard to get shots over inside. He's hard to rebound with. He's just a very good player, but they've got more than that. McCamey, he hit 2 or 3 threes that were daggers, and of course Campbell's always good. They got a very good team. I thought Williams played well for him that night too. He's grown a lot.
He has. He's grown a lot and made a leap from his
sophomore
to junior season. Yeah. But moving on to that game, into the South Green game, you mentioned that you thought that West Green slump kind of carried over into the South Green game. Do you think that was kind of what caused you to have such a slow start in that game?
And Jace coming back that game after you hear things that he's not playing, he's out for the year. Same thing you heard about Fillers, and then you see him, Chandler, all of them's there, and I think we were, I don't know how to put it, a little intimidated is the nicest way to put it from the get-go.
Yeah.
I mean, we were 2 for 20. I forget exactly, 2 for 20 something first half. Now, we're better than that. And, you know, I think their size, their length had a lot to do with, you know, a lot of the messes. You know, we've worked hard on shooting our offense the last 2 days, so I'm curious to see what happens tonight. You know, because Gavin, he's one of our better shooters. Rylan, you know, and Dom, we've got to have scoring from them, but we've also got to get scoring from our post. You know, in that game, I'm not sure that our post, if I looked at it, they were 1 for 10.
In the post?
Yeah. And, you know, we shot bad, the whole team. Let's
Yeah.
don't just think it's because of the post, but our posts have to play better. They played great against West Green.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the best rebounding, they had done best defense. And, you know, in that South Green game, we have to be able to play with South Green, you have to have, you know, everybody has to play well, has to shoot well. And we have to shoot well from outside, because it's hard to get it inside when you're going up against a guy
6'8", 6'6". The
6'5",
point guard
you might
guarding
as well.
you is 6'5".
He comes down from behind and he's just towering over you. I mean, so Terry's got a very good team.
And they're one of the favorites to win the conference this year. Of course, a lot of people's opinion, contrary to them, would be Hampton. That's who you've got tonight also.
Yeah.
Got a big, important game against Hampton tonight. Before we preview that too much,
Hampton
though.
had beaten them
They have.
earlier.
So that's a big game also that's coming up left. But before we talk about Hampton too much, we need to get a word from our sponsors in first. So we'll hear a message from them and be right back in just a minute to talk about that Hampton and Happy Valley game here on Grassroots Media.
At Corner Pond, the friendly and knowledgeable staff has the experience necessary to help you out regardless the need. Have an item of value you'd like to pawn or sell? Corner Pond can help. They pawn numerous items of value, including firearms, tools, ammunition, silver, coins, and much more. When you walk through their doors, you'll find well-stocked shelves full of electronics, gaming systems, fishing and hunting equipment, car audio and accessories. And don't forget about the room full of guitars and basses and amplifiers, or their outside lawn and garden equipment. Corner Pond is a case knife dealer and carries numerous used knives as well. Stop by and let the friendly staff at Corner Pond help you today at 432 East Bernard Avenue, Greenville, Tennessee.
At Terry's Flooring, we have quality products along with quality installers that can make your space look better than ever before. The craftsmanship that our installers bring to the job site is unmatched. Along with the great installers, we have a huge selection of hardwood, LVP, tile, and carpet. We know that spending money isn't that easy, but at Terry's Flooring, we care about your money too. Stop on in and see my Popsy at Terry's Flooring and allow him to save you money while enjoying the hassle-free experience.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Terry's Flooring Sam Broyles Show, where we cover everything on the court with the Chuckey-Doak Black Knights basketball team. As always, I'm joined here with head coach Sam Broyles. So you got Hampton tonight. You got Happy Valley on Tuesday. You're already 1.5 through the conference season. This starts the second half now. You've got Hampton tonight, a team that you kind of mentioned right before the break. You know they're going to press you. You know they're going to add any type of pressure they can, whether it's a full court set, whether it's a half court set, trap, anything, they're going to bring it to you. It's a key game tonight because, as we mentioned, they're in the top spot in the district right now. So you've got the opportunity to get your first win over the top team in the conference tonight. So what's the plan going into tonight?
You know, and our group hasn't seen a press in a while.
Yeah.
People, you know, beating us half court because they're so much bigger than us. So they're forces us into a half-court game where, when teams are a lot bigger than you, and if you're not making outside shots, it can be, go bad quickly.
Yeah.
And you've seen that from time to time. But, hopefully we can come out and handle their pressure and shoot the ball well because, let's face it, we play with more energy when we do shoot the ball well. And I've talked to Rylan. I think Rylan's going to have a good game tonight. He's got to put his in. He didn't score first time. He knows that. And we'll see, if it motivates him to play better. And which he's got, he's got
fully
that about
capable,
him.
yes.
Yes, he is. And, Dom and Gavin, where they both scored in double figures last game, they're going to try to take that away. So Rylan has to step up. Ben, of course, has to step up, and Blake and Chance. Whoever comes in there has to do their part, take some of the pressure off of, Dom and Gavin
Rylan,
tonight.
yeah.
And Rylan.
And then moving into Tuesday night, you've got Happy Valley. Their only win so far in the district was you guys. So you have the opportunity to exact revenge against them going up to their place this time. If you would get that win, that's big in the situation that if you beat them and you're able to beat another team, you would go ahead and jump them and be fifth in the district, which could be very beneficial going into the tournament. So a lot of stakes at hand in that game against Happy Valley, going up there to their place and play. What's your plan going into that game?
Things get crazy on the downhill stretch, and that's where we are. You've seen everybody. We know what Happy Valley's got. Of course, they know what we have. So, we have to do a better job defensively. We give up 60 points to them, especially the two players. They have 21 and 12.
Okay.
I mean, they had to have, out of 60 points, I bet they had 45.
Wow.
So, listen, we're better than that defensively now, and we're going to figure a way to stop them, and hopefully take care of the other people too.
Yeah.
But those two are the key, what I'm seeing so far.
And then we're halfway through, as I mentioned, and at this point, you're still winless in the conference right now. Still have the opportunity with 5 games left to make some noise and jump some teams and kind of better your position going into the tournament. So halfway through right now, how do you feel about your team?
Oh, I feel good about them. I mean, they've gotten better as the years went, and that's what you look for. I know at times you didn't see that in our last outing against South Green, but there's a lot of factors that went into that, as we both know. But we'll get a chance to play everybody again, and let's see what happens tonight, starting with Hampton.
And if you look at the comparisons too, the 2 games that I watched early on in the season was Hancock County here at home and then Providence Academy in the Hardee's Classic. If you compare those 2 games to the West Green game last week where you went on the road to West Green, which is a tough place to play, and almost squeaked out a win, you see a lot of improvements there. It might not show on the scoreboard, but you could tell defensively your team's gotten better. Offensively, you found ways to take care of the ball a little bit better like we had talked about early on in the season. The Providence game was one of those where you had, I think, 16, 17 turnovers just in the first half alone. So you've done better throughout the season. It doesn't look like it on the scoreboard in the win-loss column, but I will agree with you. Your team has had a step of growth in the right direction throughout the season.
Just like West Green game, they took big shots.
Mm-hmm.
And that comes with experience, and they'll see the better days. They just have to believe in themselves.
I think that's all we've got on basketball talk, unless there's anything else you'd like to add.
And we were right on Ohio State.
That's what I was going to go into. Ohio State did take care of business. They made it scary late, though.
I don't know if the game was ever that close, to be honest.
I agree. It seemed like it was when it got down to 8, but whenever the one time that I thought it might get close was when Ohio State had that 3rd down play that they threw it long to number 4. If they
He's done that the whole playoff.
I don't know how you didn't cover him better than one-on-one.
I agree, but in the UT game, he took over that game. What game is he not? In Texas,
Texas was the only one, but Texas was double covering him all game, and they gave you the
blueprint.
But they
have
right
the athletes too.
Yeah,
that some of these other teams didn't have.
But it's crazy how the biggest play of the game, where if you can stop them, you can get the ball back with a chance to go down and tie in the national championship. It's one-on-one coverage with no safety help.
Well, who was it that won before that? It was Texas. Well, in the overtime game against
Arizona State?
Yes.
Yeah.
How does the same thing happen to Arizona State? that was a 4th down play.
Game's
But they-
over if they don't get
They
that.
score a touchdown. So,
I didn't know what they were thinking whenever he stepped back to throw it deep like that, because if that's incomplete, the clock stops and they get to keep a timeout with
Gamble.
time to go down and tie. So it was definitely a gamble, but for Ohio State's credit, it worked out. Not much like Ohio State, but I got to give them credit. They went on a crazy run.
yeah, it's been a long time since they've, won since 2016?
I think so, with Ezekiel Elliott. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Ezekiel Elliott on the team, and now he's
Especially-
almost done with his NFL career.
Especially all the athletes they've had.
Yeah. But congrats to Ohio State. If you're an Ohio State fan, congratulations. You get another championship. If you're a Notre Dame fan, sorry. It's been,
At
what,
least they
37
made it,
years?
and, you know, that coach looks good for his future.
He does look good. I like Marcus Freeman.
Yeah.
He looks like a heck of a coach. He might have them back in
If
the
he can start getting
playoffs.
some of the talent
Yes.
come his way too.
Because I don't know if they had any 5-stars on their team. And that's rare for Notre
He
Dame.
did a tremendous job.
He did do a tremendous job. Notre Dame's probably a team that you'll see in the playoffs every year, as long as they don't lose another crazy game to Northern Illinois, because then after that, you've got to win out to pretty much make it.
You do, especially Big Ten. Good grief.
We got the NFL left, though. We got 4 teams left. I know you're a Cowboys fan, right?
Yeah.
So you're probably pulling for the Bills, because not many people like the Chiefs, and you've got 2 NFC East rivals in the NFC title game. So what's your opinions on the NFL playoffs that are left?
It seems like everybody, or the system's for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Or that's what everybody thinks anyway. Any talk show you watch or anything. So, I mean, I'd like to see the Bills win. Who
I would too.
wouldn't? Especially as many times as, they've been there and not got it done. I mean, you would think we would get it right. You see Washington, our 2 main rivals in Philadelphia, battling to go to the Super Bowl. What, it's been since 97 or 95.
95 since Dallas has won.
It's pitiful, but give the Redskins, give the Commanders. I don't know if they're going back to that name or not. I've
I
heard
don't know.
that.
I'm finally used to calling them the Commanders. Now they
Yeah.
might go back.
Washington Commanders. I just don't see them beating the Eagles, but you never know.
You do never know. That's what's crazy about it. You
Yeah.
never know in sports. But on paper, it looks like the Eagles should take it. They got a great defense. But Jaden Daniels, you can never count him out.
No, you can't. Has anybody been any better as a rookie?
Hey, he's got one of the best rookie seasons we've ever seen.
Maybe I don't know how his rookie season was. I know he made it to the Super Bowl, but Russell
Wilson,
with the Seahawks.
he did well. I think he made it to the divisional round that year.
Okay, and then the next year's the year he won it.
Yes. And then one that I always think back to was Ben Roethlisberger. Lost the first game of the season, then I think he won every game after that until they lost to the Patriots in the championship game. So, I mean, when you're up there in conversations with Hall of Famers or future Hall of Famers like Russell Wilson and Ben Roethlisberger, I mean, you've had an incredible rookie season.
You're right.
Don't want it to end because I'd like to see him beat the Eagles because personally I don't really like the Eagles. And it would be – I don't have anything against Washington either, so it would be cool to see Jaden Daniels and that young team pull that off. But I think that's all we've got left. I know your planning period's almost over.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, you got to go back to teaching. And then you got Hampton here tonight. Luckily, you don't have to get on a bus now. They get to come here, so
Well,
best of luck tonight.
Thank you. The downside of that, you got to get everything ready. Jim, people don't realize what coaches go through just to get ready, prep for a game.
Especially
More than just coaching.
how many JV games are today?
Well, there's just one.
Just one, okay.
There's no JV girls, so it starts at 5, but you still got to get the gym ready, bleachers, get it cleaned up and everything for tonight.
Get the scores table out there, get everything good to go.
Yeah, and floor it's not slick.
Sweep it, yeah. Everything that goes into that. But, Coach, once again, I appreciate you sitting down with me. Thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Terry's Flooring Sam Broyles Show. We look forward to seeing you next time here on Grassroots Media.